Wanderer, welcome to the Owl Archive. I'm happy you've arrived here. The winter solstice is approaching, and the forest is deep tonight. The world outside is silent under a layer of snow as the longest night of the year draws near. But you're here. Now you're here. You're safe too. Let's just take a moment to simply come before we enter, before we open the door to the story for tonight, to let the trip to fade away, to remove the noise from our minds and the frost off our shoulders. Look for a position that you are comfortable with. If necessary, reposition your pillow. Raise your blanket a bit. Allow your body to completely rest into the plush support underneath you. Now, take a moment to picture yourself standing at the edge of this peaceful winter woodland. This place has pure, crisp air. It has a faint wood smoke and pine resin scent. Inhale deeply, visualizing the cool, clear air filling your lungs to the brim. Take a breath and let go gradually, observing your breath transform into a gentle, silvery mist in the dusk. Breathe out. Let the burden of the day fade away with each exhale, like smoke ascending into the lowering sky. The trees surrounding you are old and tall. They take their time. They just stand, anchored, patient, and motionless. Give yourself permission to take their silence. Come on, it's the longest night yet, but you don't have to face it alone. Enter the house and feel the warmth. The world is different here. The icy cold can't get to you. Ancient roots and sturdy clay barriers stifle the breeze. It's silent. It's warm. And now is the time to relax. The cold wind is quieted as the big oak door softly thuds shut behind us. The cold is over for us. We have entered the earth's interior. The air is still here, far below the great oak's roots. It's warm, and the smell of home is within it. Take a time to survey this area. Yes, it's a kitchen, but it feels more like a haven. The oak's old, dense roots create a low, arched ceiling above. Like the ribs of a massive sleeping beast, they twist and curl. The wood has been polished by years and generations of tours, making it smooth. Here the light is gentle, golden and vibrant. It originates from the big stone fireplace built into the distant wall, where a steady fire of applewood and birch burns. A soft, slumbering fire instead of a blazing one. Slow, almost lazy, the flames move. The deep, reassuring red glow of the flames below creates long, swirling shadows that move across the expansive flooring. Is there a scent in the air? It is rich, velvety, and layered. The earthy scent of thyme and dried sage hangs from the ceiling beams in gentle, dusty bunches. The delicious, sticky warmth of baked apples lies behind that. Beneath it all was the subtle, woodsy scent of the fire itself. Your breath deepens and your shoulders slump when you smell it. And there he is, standing beside the tall, robust pine table in the middle of the space. He is a gentle, dignified badger. His fur's black and white stripes have faded to velvety charcoal and silver as the years have gone by. He is dressed tonight in a thick, moss-coloured woolen waistcoat and a plain linen apron, the strings of which are tied in a tidy bow at his back. He doesn't move quickly. Having experienced numerous winters, Barnaby is well aware that the best things take time. He walks with a heavy, sluggish elegance. Listen to his wide paws shuffle gently on the braided rug. Listen to the grandfather clock in the corner, which is ticking steadily. Tick, tock, tick, tock. The snow may be heaping high on the oak trunk outside, past these substantial earthen walls. The branches above can have exquisite patterns traced by the ice. However, there is only warmth down here, deep within the ground. Peace is the only thing present. Here you are secure. Here you are welcome. This is a unique evening. The sun's gradual return will start tomorrow. This year's wheel will turn again. Barnaby is getting ready for tonight, getting ready for the feast of the solstice. In front of the table, Barnaby stands. He has accumulated everything he requires on it. A broad, smooth, cream-coloured ceramic bowl, a tiny clay honey container, a wooden scoop. Additionally, there was a big linen bag filled with flour that was ground from the remaining autumn wheat. A scoop of flour is lifted out of the sack by him. Pale gold in the firelight. It's all right. Slowly, he tilts it into the bowl. A gentle, quiet mist of flour falls. Motes of dust capture the sunshine and float in the warm air. One more scoop. And one more. He's not keeping track. He senses it through years of experience, according to the weight of his paws. He sprinkles some salt on it, and ceramic pitcher in the corner had a tiny jar of water that was still cold. At last, he unlocks the honey container. It smells right away. Rich, golden, delicious. He pours it in while observing the thick amber thread as it descends into the flour. He starts to mix now. He makes steady, slow circles with his big paw. Water and flour are combined. It's rough and shaggy at first. Barnaby, however, is patient. He continues to stir, around and around and around. When the dough is ready, he spills it onto the antique wooden board at the table's edge. 100 loaves have worn the board smooth and scarred it. He sprinkles it with flour, and now he starts kneading. Using the heels of his paws, press into the dough. Under pressure, the dough gives way, becoming soft and accommodating. Fold. He folds the dough over itself as he pulls the far edge toward him. Rotate by a quarter, and once more. Press, fold, turn. Press, fold, turn. It has a beat to it, a tune. Every time he presses, the dough produces a breathy, delicate sound. The weight causes a slight squeak in the board. Make a noise. And there's always the clock in the background. Tick, tick, tick. He takes his time. There is nowhere to go. There's nothing to run for. Just this. The only thing under his paws was the warm dough. Just the firelight. Just the gradual passing of time. The dough is smooth after a number of minutes. Flexible. Alive. He carefully returns it to the bowl after shaping it into a round, plump ball. He puts a fresh, checkered cloth over it and places it close to the fireplace, where the heat will encourage it to rise. Now the bread will rest. We can too. Under the window, Barnaby goes to the counter. He's pulled root vegetables from his winter stockpile here. Carrots, parsnips, turnips, onions. The slight smell of the ground from which they were dragged remains in each one. He chooses a carrot. It's thick, a little twisted, and sunset-coloured. He admires the rich orange glow as he holds it up to the light for a bit. He then carefully and slowly sets it on the board. It's a sharp knife. The cuts are neat. He doesn't hurry. Every slice is accurate. As the carrot falls into tidy, round coins, he watches. One by one they fall gently onto the board. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Then a parsnip. In the light of the fire it appears pale, almost ivory. Once more the knife moves. Give a thunk. It has a pleasant scent. Earthy. Wholesome. Next an onion. The papery skin crinkles and murmurs beneath his nails as he removes it. Sharp but not unpleasant, the smell rises. He slices it in two. Next into quarters. Every component is added to the expanding stack. Barnaby moves the vegetables from the board into the big iron pot that is suspended over the fire when they are ready. The pot is sturdy despite being old and covered with soot. Dependable. He fills a big pitcher with water. When the water comes into contact with the heated metal, it hisses slightly. Delicate, curling wisps of steam ascend. He takes a moment to add the dried herbs from the bundles above. Rosemary. Bay departs. A winter thyme sprig. First, he crushes them between his paws, releasing their aroma. And he stirs now. The spoon is made of ash wood and is big and smooth. He moves it through the water quite slowly, around and around. The vegetables start to move, to become softer, to allow the broth to absorb their sweetness. Around and around and around. Now the stew will boil over many hours, gradually turning into something nice, nourishing, and warm. Barnaby looks around the room as the stew bubbles softly on the hearth. There will be visitors tomorrow. On the night of the Solstice Feast, people get together. Of illumination, of keeping in mind that the sun will rise again, even throughout the longest period of darkness. He proceeds to the kitchen's corner, where he has set a woven basket. There are garlands of pine and fir within, their needles still aromatic and dark green. He pulls one out, tied together with rough thread and dense with branches. It is heavier than it appears. He covers the mantelpiece above the hearth with the garland. The space is filled with the fresh, clean, and vibrant aroma of pine. It blends with the aromas of the bread, stew, and fire. He then takes out a tiny jar of slices of dried orange. In the fall, when the orchard was overflowing with fruit, he made these with his neighbour, the squirrel. The thin, transparent slices have retained their flavour. He drapes them in the window after tying them onto a piece of thread. They catch the firelight and sparkle like tiny suns. He scatters holly sprigs on the table. In contrast to the dark green leaves, its berries are a striking shade of crimson. He carefully arranges them. Take caution. Every sprig has a role. At last, he lights a fresh candle. It is thick, composed of beeswax, and has a subtle scent of summer meadows and honey. He sets it next to the garland on the mantel. The flame flickers, settles, and burns steadily. The room's light becomes softer, deepens, intensifies its golden hue. Everything is now prepared. Standing in the middle of his kitchen, Barnaby surveys his surroundings. Beneath its cloth, the bread is rising. Over the fire, the stew is slowly cooking. They hang the garlands. They have ignited the candles. The scent of winter, warmth, and home permeates the space. Nothing further needs to be done. Nothing is left undone. Something settles in Barnaby's chest at this very time. A deep, peaceful satisfaction. The kind that appears only when the task is completed, and completed successfully. He makes his way to his fireside armchair. It's a big, deep chair with burgundy leather upholstery that has seen better days. The cushions have long since taken on his contour. Slowly, he sinks into it, and the chair underneath him lets out a gentle exhale. He extends his legs in the direction of the fireplace. Still warm from the fire, his paws lie on the stone floor. He rests his head on the chair. His eyes are now partly closed as he observes the fire. The fire is extinguished. The deep, bright embers are all that remain of the whirling flames. They gently pulse, bringing light into the space. The snow is still falling outside. Quiet, infinite. But all that exists here, in this cozy, secure location beneath the earth, is silence. Time is running out. Tick, tock, tick, tock. The stew is bubbling. Blup, blup. Additionally, Barnaby's breathing was deep, steady, and slow. The weight of his eyelids increases. He feels the fire's heat seeping into his bones. His muscles, which are so accustomed to working, start to relax, to let go. Nothing more has to be done tonight. The feast is scheduled for tomorrow, but this is all there is to it tonight. Rest only. Barnaby shuts his eyelids, one by one. The candles are already burning low. Flicker once, twice, and then extinguish. It is now dark in the room. It's not cold though. It's warm, secure, held. It's the longest night yet. However, there's no reason to be afraid of it. The sun will come out again. It always does. Barnaby, good night. Forest, good night. Wanderer, good night. Take a nap now. You're secure. Everything is fine.